Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Some businesses wanting to set up medical cannabis dispensaries in Sioux Falls will get one step closer today. The city will hold a lottery for dispensary licenses at City Hall this morning.
While 79 applications were returned to the city, the number of dispensaries in the city will be capped at 5. All applications will get a number, so if any of the first 5 become ineligible, other applications will be next in line. Governor Kristi Noem's daughter, Cassidy Peters, says she will turn in her appraiser license. In a letter to the South Dakota Department of Labor and Regulation, Peters says she will no longer accept new appraisal orders and will dissolve her business by the end of the year. In the letter, Peters says she is disappointed and angry that her name and professional reputation have been damaged by questions and misinformation. This comes as lawmakers look into whether Governor Noem used her influence to aid her daughter's application for a real estate appraiser license. Last year, Noem, Peters, and Labor Department officials met at the governor's mansion when Peters' application was denied. Peters also released a training plan that ultimately led to her certification. The agreement lays out the steps Peters needed to take to get her license. It is dated August 5th, 2020, 10 days after the meeting at the governor's mansion. Department of Labor Secretary Marcia Hultman recently told lawmakers that the plan was in place prior to the July 27th meeting. Even with the pandemic, Sanford Health saw more revenue in 2020 than a year earlier. According to a document filed with the IRS, Sanford brought in $4.8 billion last year. More than $2 billion came from patient services and $1.7 billion came from Medicare and Medicaid. A large part of that money goes to the doctors, nurses, and other hospital and clinic workers. Last year, the health system paid more than $2.5 billion in salaries and wages. A Sioux Falls dentist has given up his practice in an agreement with the state dentistry board. Cale Slack is facing 5 domestic abuse charges. The most serious charge is choking his wife, which is a felony. Authorities say the abuse took place in September. Because of the charges, Slack agreed to give up his dental practice with the board and has since sold it. A new dentist took over last week. Slack is scheduled to go on trial in February and faces up to 15 years in prison if found guilty. Turning to weather now with meteorologist Scott Munt. Today's wind looking to be cooling us down, Scott.
Yeah, strong winds do return today, help bring in this cool weather, stay with us probably for the next several days, even going beyond, as it looks like more seasonal weather is expected. We'll have temperatures today in the 30s and 40s for afternoon highs. We'll continue with our winds today. It looks like we'll get a break from those winds as we do get into tomorrow. And then for this coming weekend, well, it looks like we'll have mostly dry conditions. Something we'll continue to watch because we may have to add just a slight chance for a light rain or a light snow shower. And Brian Carson will have more details on your forecast coming up.
Thanks, Scott. Poet is bringing a new facility to the research park at SDSU.
The Poet Bioproducts Institute will allow for new research in turning commodities into bioproducts. The space will allow for researchers to collaborate on many new projects.
This will be an evolution. Developing new technology takes time, and so we'll collaborate with the people from both universities, along with, of course, our team members here as to what some of those projects will be.
The building is set to open in June 2023. There are now 2 candidates planning to run for governor of South Dakota in 2022. Republican lawmaker Stephen Haugard has filed the necessary paperwork for his campaign with the Secretary of State.
Haugard has won election 4 times to the State House of Representatives. He also served as the House Speaker for the 2019-2020 session.
Governor Kristi Noem announced on Twitter last week that she's running for re-election. Noem was elected as the state's first female governor in 2018 after serving the U.S. representative for South Dakota for 8 years.
KELOLAND Media Group needs your help to save a life. We are hosting a blood drive outside our studio along Phillips Avenue in downtown Sioux Falls.
The Bloodmobile will be set up until 4:30 this afternoon. You can also donate blood at either Sanford or Avera's donor room. We've provided a link to sign up right here on KELOLAND.com.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, weather today. Well, a lot colder than yesterday. 30s and 40s For afternoon temperatures, Sioux Falls, I think right now it's safe to say we're just going to hover upper 30s through the late morning, and then we'll try to get to the low 40s for the afternoon. Clouds will be a little thicker at times in northeast KELOLAND. And tonight, if we end up with clearing skies, Rapid City, for example, could drop even into the upper teens. We'll kind of have to watch that. Mercury even out to Phillip and Pine Ridge, single digits and teens for overnight low temperatures. Yeah, it's getting cold. Tomorrow, mixed bag of 30s and 40s. Again, less wind, though, tomorrow. So that'll be helpful news as we throttle things down there on that. But today, yeah, hold on to your hat. A lot of wind across most of KELOLAND, especially if you live in central and western KELOLAND. The winds will be strongest there. On the maps, you can see that word windy today, tomorrow into Friday. More seasonable weather, especially Friday with some sun and less wind. It feels better. And then we get into the weekend. We still have a minor disturbance coming in. Nothing here really to write home about. Maybe some sprinkles or a passing snow area, but we haven't even included a lot of that yet in the forecast. We'll keep an eye on it, though. And then by Sunday and Monday, we should get a cold front from the north. We'll see how strong that is. Got a few days to weigh that. All right, highs today, 41, Chamberlain and Winter, 38 degrees in Rapid City. Certainly a lot colder than yesterday. And now, looking forward, a lot of 30s and 40s. Mid-40s Friday, Saturday in the Sioux Falls area. Lower 30s early next week. I think that front there on Monday has some potential to really drop the mercury. Aberdeen, same idea. Very little chance of rain or snow for now. 46 our high on Friday, 43 Saturday. Pierre and Central KELOLAND may pop up to 50 on Friday, but then settling back with the anticipated frontal arrival next week, Sunday, Monday, and that should also knock down the temperatures in the Black Hills. Although ahead of that, a little warmer on Friday, back up to 54. Check out details in the forecast with our Storm Center update right now at KELOLAND.com and have yourself a great day.